Hey there. Now, this we're going to talk about the importance of going into urban farming and the benefits. There are going to be 7 to 8 listed benefits you could get. If we think about it more deeply, there could even be more benefits that we could get from it. Now, let's go straight into it. The first is food security. With urban farming, there will be efficiency in food security when each house start producing from where they are and not waiting for products come from far distance to get to them. The prediction is everyone could from their space produce minimum one produce, and if this produce could feed a family and even more by selling to the community, then every dependence on transportation of food from far distance to the city would reduce, and it will also make it more faster to get food delivered to different people. The whole idea of food insecurity stems from the fact that there are predictions that there could get to a time when our population could override us, could get too populated, we won't be able to feed ourselves. Food security is getting enough food to feed the population of a city adequately without having to look or export or import so much into the country. Another thing we could look at is the economic importance of urban farming and peri-urban agriculture. It has a lot of economic benefits. Besides empowerment, it actually provides a source of income. It improves standard of living of the people living within that area. It also fosters happiness among those that practice it. A lot of people derive so much joy from going to where their farm is situated within the city without having to spend so much time trying to transport yourself. It could also improve the quantity of food within the city. Now, economic importance cannot be overemphasized because what is the essence of producing from your house if you can't feed yourself and you can actually make income through it? Then if this had been looked into, then we could look at other importance such as carbon footprint. Carbon footprint is simply the sequestration of CO2 in the atmosphere. What does that mean? It means that accumulation of CO2 over time in the atmosphere. Now, we have to reduce this carbon footprint, else we're going to have a lot of climate issues in the future. A lot of estimation and predictions are coming up and going around about how we could damage the planet. Well, you might think it's not true, but if you keep using and leaving so much footprint of carbon, you'll be surprised how much you experience. So some of the obvious way to know carbon footprint is increasing is look at the rapid change in temperature and weather conditions. Now, by making sure that you plant from your urban farming space, you could actually reduce the carbon footprint by half from that your space alone. Because each day there is a percentage of carbon footprint you are leaving out from your own house, from your own space, from your own community. But when you plant and then you encourage urban farming from that community could halve the amount of CO2 that is leaving that community. When you plant, these plants eat up the carbon dioxide, that's the CO2, and it turns them into food for you and give you oxygen in return. So the more the plant, the lesser the carbon footprint we experience. Another importance we could look about is the social importance. What does social mean? It means something that brings about the wellness, overall wellness of the person, or the wellness of the community or of the individual. Now, when we say social importance, it involves planting vegetables and ornamental trees at different places within the city. Now, the reason why we do this thing is to beautify the city, one, improve the wellness state of the city, two, and we'll also try to improve the networking opportunities that is available in the city. It is not uncommon to see that in city life, there's a lot of parks and recreational centers. Most of the places are always beautified with plants and vegetable crops. Reason being, it allows people to sit in serenity and be able to have conducive discussions. It improves health safety, it provides good hygiene, and it allows the interaction of community in taking an active role in putting the community first, putting the planet first. These are one of the social importances. Now, the next importance we'll be looking at is the soil decontamination. Soil decontamination is so common within a lot of spaces in the city. Why? Because there are chemical runoffs that pollute and destabilize the sewage system. These sewage are now being let out into the oceans, which kills our aquatic life. They are being spewed on the soil, which actually kills the nutrient value of the soil and the ability for plants to grow there. Now, there are a lot of ways for us to check this issue through urban farming. We could plant agricultural crop indicators and scatter it throughout the city. These plants will help us understand the health of the soil, and it would also promote city-wide farming. The cities get beautified, vegetables get propagated in the city, and we get to see how these lands that otherwise would have been used for pollution and throwing of sewage and spilling of chemicals would be used for something beautiful. These plants could also take up all the chemicals from the soil, thereby purifying the soil.